Okay, hello everybody, it's me, and we are back on the tins. You guys, I gotta finish these tins, and I've got to get some into my shop. And so I decided that it seems the only way I've been getting things done lately is to actually do a video. So I'm doing a video on my tins again, and I think I have a few here that I probably have already shown you guys. In fact, I'm certain I have. But these, most of them are done. I've got this one, which is one that I put my beautiful butterfly ballet dancer fairy on, and this is in greens. I'm debating on whether I want to do anything else to this one because it's so beautiful just the way it is that I think I may leave it the way it is. It's full of note cards. I did this one and it says be still and be kind. I love this little girl so much. She is adorable, and I really made this one for myself, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it or sell it. I'm going to make another one with her on it, so I can always sell this one and make another one. I love the filigrees on the corners of this one. I did add those, and I love the way they make it look kind of rustic and just really pretty. And then this one is a beautiful one, and it's simple. It says never give up, believe, and stay strong. And I really, really love this one. This one is very inspirational. And I'll show you guys some of the cards, the note cards that are in these. And this one says saved by grace. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that saying, that quote. And I believe in it 100%, and I think this one is gorgeous just the way it is. They don't all have to have rhinestones all around them and stuff like that. I just need to sometimes take a step back and just realize the beauty that's in the simplicity of some of my pieces. That I need a wipe because this one, it got a little dot of resin on the bottom of it here. But anyway, the simplicity sometimes is everything. So this one, I am leaving this one the way it is. The only thing I may add to this one is, where did I put them? I was thinking about, and these are very soft butterflies. They're cushy and stuff, but I thought I might add one of these beautiful butterflies that don't really take up any of the beauty of the piece, but it would be nice in the middle of those flowers. So I think I am going to add one to this one, and I may add one to this one as well, and I'll show you the difference, you guys. These are so pretty. I just love these butterflies, and these are Dollar Tree butterflies, you guys, and they're just plastic. Acetate basically is what they're made of. And if I put that right down there, right in the middle of those flowers, it doesn't take away from the flowers, but look at that. Is that not beautiful? I love it. And then I think I'm going to put one on the other one as well. This one. Just got to decide which butterfly I want to add. That one actually looks really pretty on there, so I think we're going to go with this one. I have 2 packages of these, and I almost kind of wish I think I might have bought the only 2 they had at the Dollar Tree when I was there, because I just thought they were so beautiful. They caught my eye just instantaneously when I saw them on the shelf, so there's that one. Just the sticker, no gluing, no nothing. If somebody wants to take it off, they can take it off. But it is not something that's going to take a lot of touching and feeling and, you know, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to mess with it too much, but I just think it's gorgeous. So we can put this one aside and this one aside. What I need to do is I need to make a spot to set these, at least while I'm working, on in this video, and I don't want to drop that. There we go. And I'll put these over there. And I'll put her over here. This one is packed full, you guys, of cards. It's almost to the top. I don't know how many cards are in here, but look at that. I mean, I just really packed it. And that's what I've been doing with all of these bigger tins. Because I want, if I'm going to sell them, I want them to have enough note cards that somebody can either use it as a prayer box or as a note card holder. And again, a little later in the video, I will show you guys some of the note cards that are in them. They're so, so, so pretty. And then I have some new ones that I actually printed, and I think I'm going to print more of them. They're more tailored to a prayer box because they have beautiful scriptures on them, and they're gorgeous. So I may make a couple of prayer boxes just with those cards. I need to buy some more of these tins. These are my favorites. Look how big they are. They're not square, but they're big enough that they hold a nice sized note card. And you know, the little prayer boxes were great with the little notepads, but these are, you know, nice sized note cards. You can see that's about the size of my hand almost. And you can write, you know, notes to yourself. You can write prayers. You can write anything. And I've already got stuff in here to decorate this with. So, and then I've got this one, which is, it was the same as this one. And the more I looked at this box, the more I just didn't like the way it's done. It looks pretty cool on the video, but I just, every time I looked at it, I felt like it made me dizzy. So what I did with one of them is I spray painted it black. It's still got that on the bottom. I spray painted it black, and then I had some gold spray paint, and I just made it kind of have more of an antique-y vintage look, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to do something with this one, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the little girl on this one because I think she would be cute on there. Kind of that way. And I think sort of embellish around that. Don't think we're going to do this one today, but I wanted to show you guys what I was working on with that one. And then I've got 2 of these oval ones left, and I've got 2 of these left to do. So let's see. And I did just find this flower decal, and I really love it. And it's a little bit longer than what's in this tin right now. So I grabbed it as I was coming over to my craft table and thought maybe I will put this on one of these. Now let's see which one we've got. This one's perfect for this tin. This one's going to work out great, and it's gorgeous. And these are kind of too long for these, and when you cut off those end pieces, then it changes the whole look of the flower. This one, what I did was I have a couple of quotes in here, and then I just had this one little floral thing. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll add this one and use this for something else another time, or I could even add a couple flowers, but the more I put on the top of this, the less of the quotes and stuff I can use. I may not use these now that I found this nice decal here, because those I was basically using to kind of take up a little space since I only have those little tiny, that little tiny decal. So we'll put that in there just so that it's ready to go. We don't know how many of these we're going to get done today, but I wanted to do a video. So I'm off today. Don't have to work my other job, and I'm so thrilled about that. I worked last night, and let me tell you guys, I was exhausted when I got home last night. I thought I was just gonna collapse, and honestly, I never fall asleep before 3 a.m. And last night after I got home, I literally fell asleep at probably, I guess it was maybe 11:30 or 12, and I slept until 9 o'clock this morning. So I needed my sleep, and I'm not a long time sleeper. My whole life I've been able to go on even 3 or 4 hours sleep, no problem. I can get by with that. But lately, I've been so exhausted that I don't fall asleep till about 3 a.m., but I'm sleeping until 10, you know. So sometimes I'm getting up at 5, you know, and I get 2 hours, and that's all I can sleep. So, and then I'm exhausted. But anyway, so I got a good night's sleep last night. I feel good, and I wanted to do something, so... And I did a video the other day, and I need to get one more to put on for this weekend. So hopefully this will be it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to read you a quote that I took off of Pinterest. Okay, and it says, "There will be very painful moments in your life that will change your entire world in a matter of minutes. These moments will change you. Let them make you stronger, smarter, and kinder. But don't you go and become someone that you're not. Cry, scream if you have to. Then you straighten out that crown and keep moving." I liked that. I thought that was pretty cool. Another one, I only did these 2. Sometimes God will put a Goliath in your life so you can find the David within you. And I liked that one. Right now, I am searching for David, and I think I've found him. I really do. Okay, so let's go ahead. I've got this one and this one, and these are just kind of little embellishments and things that I actually added one of these. These are some note cards that my friend Kareth sent me a long time ago, and I love them. They're a little thinking of you card, and each one has a different little note inside of it. This one says, no matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. I love these. I love these so much, and I'm about to run out of them. I have a few that I'm going to put into, I don't even have one in this one, I don't think. A few that I'm going to be putting in a couple of tins, and that will be that. And this has, again, a ton of note cards. I think there might be like 25 in here. I think that's what I counted out for most of these. Now that other one I was showing you has even more. But that's a lot of note cards too. And these are mostly like vintagey looking note cards. All different kinds. But I need to figure out what I'm going to put on top. And I was thinking I would use her on top of this one. And this one, I did cut the corners of it, and I thought that would be pretty on the top of this one. But then I also considered just leaving her in here and doing it in a floral, you know, top. So, I don't know. The floral is kind of more something that really anybody can use. But then if I put this on top, I can also add, you know, a little bit of flowers. And maybe not that one. That's a little bit much. But a little bit of flowers kind of off to the side of her. And just do it like that. So, I don't think I'm going to... If I do that, I'm definitely not going to need this one. So I'm going to put that one aside where I put the other one. And I've got this one, which is kind of pretty. I like this. I think these are poppies. And I really like this one, but I think it might be too big if I use her. Now, if it was on top of the box, it would be very pretty, kind of in a corner. And then to use my beautiful little inspirational
quotes would be nice, just with this one flower and those. And leave her in there. Or I could use this one and then use the quotes. Or maybe put it here, and then I could put a quote up here and a quote down here. That would be pretty. With that being said, I could probably even use this one and put one quote here and one quote down here, and that would work too. So I don't know. And this is what I should not do. I should never bring extra ideas, because then I end up giving myself too many choices, and then I mess up. Okay, so let's put that inside there. We're going to take this lid and we're going to put her aside for right now. And we're going to take this lid and this one, and I think we're going to put one. We'll put one butterfly here and one butterfly over here. And I was thinking of using this one on this tin. Look at how beautiful, beautiful these girls look on here. I mean, that is just gorgeous. So I think I'm going to do that, because you know what? I have not made many of these tins with the ladies on top. I've made some of the magnets, refrigerator magnets, and they've done pretty well. I've sold some of the sets. I've got the refrigerator magnets in sets in my Etsy shop. I think I have 2 more sets left, if I'm correct. I made a bunch of sets. But if I use these, I think these would be very pretty and different. Different than all the other tins. And I think that's what I need to do. Something a little different. And these 2 mainly were meant to be for, let's see, these are going to go on that one. And these are for, you know what though, if I use her, I cannot use these. And that was why I decided to go with the flowers. So what am I going to do, you guys? Because I wanted to make these more in the way of inspirational stuff on the outside. Gosh, she's so pretty though. Isn't that gorgeous? And what I could do is I've got my my filigree corners here, and this would be really pretty with the antique brass corners. Look at that. I've got a few of them. I've got some that are more closer to a copper and some that are a brass, so I always have to be really careful on how I pick these out because they look very similar. Now, of course, I'm taking away those beautiful corners, but I'm just making them even prettier, right? And let's grab one more of these. And you can see, isn't that gorgeous? So let's do that. We will keep these aside and decide maybe if we want to use them on the other tin. I'll just put them in that box. And maybe somewhere on here I can use these flowers we'll decide that later. Or I could even have maybe just a little poke out of flowers right there. I think that would be pretty. And then try and maybe, I want to try and put a butterfly in there somewhere. So, let's do this. This I don't think I'll use. We're going to do the girl on this one. And we're going to keep those here. We're going to keep those corners. And then on this one, I think we will use the floral top. I don't know which one's supposed to be which. We'll just put her in there. I can rearrange the insides of these later if I need to. Okay, so I do have my B7000, which is how I will put this down on the top of the tin. And I am going to do her first. Now this is a little tricky because you've got to get the B7000 around these little decorative corners for sure. And you want to do this relatively quickly because this stuff starts to really cure very quickly. And I think I want to do these edges first. So you can see I'm just going around. Let me swoop in just a little bit, not too much. I don't want to cause the focus to go out because I'm too close to the camera. And I do want to get this all the way to the edges. And what I'm going to have to do is let this dry just a little bit. Okay, I've got plenty of
The adhesive on there.
I want to make sure I have plenty on there because I want this to go down and I want it to stick. And I'm just going to kind of move it from side to side just a tad and try and center it. Got just a tiny bit of squeeze out there. I mean, just ever so tiny bit. That's awesome. And it's actually holding down really well already. So I don't think these edges are going to curl up. But we're going to give her some time to just kind of sit there and get a little more dry before we put the resin on. Okay, and then on this one, gosh, you know what, you guys? I really kind of want to do the girl on the other one too. Maybe we won't make these inspirational quote ones. If I can find a way to use them, I will. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't think I'm going to be able to once I put these on. Because I've already got so many of the floral ones. Why not? I've got this image too, which is gorgeous. For some reason, she's got some lines, and I think that must have been when I printed some stuff. Actually, so does she a little bit. Not much. But I've got some other ones in here that are gorgeous as well. I've got her. This one is beautiful. And I love this one. This is one of my favorites, is this lady right here. Isn't she pretty? Maybe we'll go with her on this one. I've got this one too, and she's gorgeous. I just always love an image that is done in just like a two-tone, like that's a sepia kind of a finish. You know what, you guys? I think I'm actually going to go with her. And I do love her as well, and she is gorgeous, but I do see she's got a couple of lines going through her, and I don't want to put that on top of the tin. So, it would either be this one. She's got lines. I'm going to have to print some new cards, because I did get a new cartridge. So, I'm just going to wipe the glue off the tip of this thing. And I'm not gonna even bother to cut the corners, because I'm gonna also use the filigrees on this one. And maybe if I can find 4 of them. I know there was quite a few less of the coppery looking ones than there were the brass ones. They're both equally pretty, but maybe to add a little copper color to this one would be fun. Okay, so we've got that completely covered. I got up to the edges really well. And we shall plop her down and center her. And make sure she's straight. There's a little, oh, I guess it's not. There was a little spot there where the card had gotten bent a little bit. I thought it wasn't going to straighten out when I pushed it down, but it did. I have got no ooze out. There. Okay. So those are both going to be beautiful. Let's see if we can find, there's copper, copper, copper. I had 3 of them sitting there by together. Now to see, I see copper in here. I see one, I see one, I see one. Is that copper? Yes. Awesome. Okay. So now we've got those ready. So I'll just put that bag aside. All right. So you can see the difference between these two. There's just a slight difference,
but it's definitely there. This is the copper, and this one's the gold, the brass.
But they're both gorgeous. Let me make sure they're all copper. Yes. Okay. All right. So, honestly, I think these are pretty much ready because I didn't over glue them. So I think these are pretty much ready to go down with resin. So let me wipe the tip off of this. Put my cap on. And I'm going to grab my resin. Okay guys, let's go ahead and let's get these resined. Put these aside. She's going to go there, I think. And we'll put this one here because it has a little more black in it. Yeah. Okay, and this one's softer for this one. Okay. And I've got a nice full bottle of BS resin. I did finally buy another jug like the one Sherry got me, and I love it so much. I went ahead and bought the same thing. I've decided this is kind of my resin now that I enjoy using the most. So let's go ahead and we'll start with this one. And I'm going to do like I always do. You know what? I am going to add, I'm going to put one glove on. And the reason I'm going to do that is mainly because I know that my brush has a little bit of resin on the handle of it that is not wiped off very well. So it's like just a thin little bit that needs to be sort of scrubbed off, and it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on so that I don't get it all over my hands. I hate resin on my hands because then I have to wash them off with alcohol to get it off quickly, and then my hands are just getting so dried out from using so much alcohol. Okay, so let's go with that for now because I don't want it to be flowing over the edges. And there's a little glue string on this, and we don't want that to get in there. Okay, and make sure, remember, this is paper, and the resin has to get down and soak into this paper. I wonder if I could just go to the edges of this and not go to the tin itself. You know what? No, I want it to go all the way to the edge of the tin because that way we're sure that the image is held in and held down really well and it's not gonna roll up. So I knew that, but I wasn't thinking for a minute there. I thought, oh, wouldn't that be pretty? But no. So always try to have some sort of an edge if you can. Now on my magnets, I don't worry as much because everything seems to stick to those really, really well. Oh shoot, I have a drip. I was holding it too much in this direction, so we want to get that drip off of there right now. Now let me try and be a little more careful here and push that back. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, so make sure that once you get your resin on here, you give it a few minutes to soak into that paper before putting it under the lamp, because you do want to get, number one, you want to torch it and you want to get all the bubbles out, but it takes a few minutes for those bubbles to all come to the surface. So give it some time. I can see bubbles kind of squeezing out everywhere on this thing. You don't want a whole bunch of bubbles on these. The fewer bubbles, the prettier it's going to look, and the more finished and well done it's going to look. It's going to be more professionally done. So now I'm going to set this down, and we're going to do the same thing on her. We might as well get her ready too. In fact, I think I'm just going to set her on the silicone pad here. Let that resin start to set in and soak through that paper. And I can see my table is leaning down in that direction, so I'm going to hold it so that I can keep my eye on it, that it's not all dripping off of one edge. And just when you're painting the resin on, paint it this way towards the edges. Don't paint it this way. If you do that, see, now I got the drip on this side again. I'm going to go ahead and finish this way. See, I was so worried about it moving in that direction on the table that I started overcorrecting when I was holding it in the other direction. So yeah, it's dripping like crazy on this edge. I think I got more resin on this one too. But I don't want to overcorrect in the other direction and then have drips coming off all over the place. So okay, lots and lots of drips here. So I'm just going to wipe this edge really well with my wet wipe, just so that it's nice and smooth. Make sure there's nothing on this edge. I don't see any drips coming down on any of the other sides. Nope, just this one. And let's wipe it off here. Okay. And now we do have a drip on that side. Doggone. There are so many bubbles popping up on these, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I got a little too much resin on this one for sure, because I've got drips now coming down on all edges. And that one flowed over, so I think it's okay. That is so shiny and smooth right now. But more bubbles are going to come up. And you do want to let it cool down somewhat in between your torchings as well, you guys. Don't let it, when you torch it, it also thins the resin. So remember that. But you do want to allow it to get some more of those bubbles to come up. And as you start seeing that you're not really seeing more bubbles, that's a good thing. And here, this one just is dripping like crazy. And where I'm seeing the bubbles mostly is on these edges, because they seep out around the edges. And this may happen to you guys with all these drips. If you over resin, you're gonna see that those drips are gonna continue to come down until it gets to a point where there's not too much resin on the top, and then it'll slow down and you can finally relax. But I still want to get any bubbles that are in here out. I feel like she's looking pretty good. Now we've got this side. All right, so I'm just going to go around this really well. And I'm going to get her on the lamp mat where it's pretty decently level. And we're going to start getting her done because she's pretty well unbubbled. Look at this. Ugh. I didn't realize I was putting so much resin on that one. Some of what I'm seeing on here looks like it might be just maybe not bubbles, or they're down too low to pop. They're not quite at the surface yet. So I'm going to take this and try and pop them a little bit and or get them to come to the surface. There's only a few of them. And I think she's looking pretty good. Set right here. And all the edges on her look really nice. And I'm going to gently pick her up and put her under the lamp as well. Oh, I see one teeny tiny little spot right there. Oh, that's not resin, that's a little dot of glue. That I can get out later. Okay, let's get her under that lamp. Oh, I see another area that, now that I see it under my other light, there's some spots right here. And I think we're good. Okay. Come on, you. Get gorgeous. All right, I'm going to let those go for, I'm going to probably put them under the lamp for about 10 minutes. I'm going to get this glove off of my hand so I don't touch anything. And then we will start finishing them off. But in the meantime, let's let them get cured. And one thing I can do, and I think I'm going to, now that they've been under the light for a minute here, I'm going to put those aside. And I'll pull her out first. Pop that there. These are both going to need another layer of resin as well, you guys. And I will probably do that second layer off camera. And that's kind of one of the things when you're doing this on paper. It soaks into that paper. And look, I've got some little bubbles in here that that need to be leveled out. So that's it. They're like inverted bubbles. So I will get those straightened out, and I will get it nice and level on the top, and we'll be all set. So you may, when you're doing something like this, you may have to do a couple of coats. In fact, I would suggest 2 coats of resin just to be on the safe side. But you know, I don't feel like when I do my magnets, I don't feel like I need as much, and it's maybe because the paper is a smaller piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? It's a smaller item, so it's not trying to soak into as much paper. I don't know. That doesn't really make any sense, though, to me, but who knows? But it feels like when I do those, they don't require as much attention, and they usually cure so nicely.
So I'll be back.
Okay, so I decided that I do want to put some rhinestones around the edges of both of these. They both turned out great. So there's a few little bubbles in there in a few spots, but
For the most part, these are beautiful. So they turned out really nice. They're nice and shiny. There you go.
and so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to measure my rhinestones around the edge here and cut 2 of these the same size. Now see, on this rhinestone chain, every now and then you'll get a couple that are kind of twisted in between. You got to check for that so that when you start to put it on, you're not trying to deal with little tweaks while you're trying to glue them on. So just make sure you check for that, because it does happen. These just have the tiny space in between them, and that little space, if it twists, it's stuck that way. So you have to kind of untwist it to make it not do that. So just check it as you go around and as you're getting ready to cut it, to make sure, or after you cut it, whatever, to make sure that you don't have any more of those twists. Because it happens, because, you know, we're buying this stuff on Amazon and wherever else. It's not always the top quality stuff, guys, but so far with this trim, this rhinestone trim, I've had really, really good good luck with it. And I rarely have those spots where I have to either twist them or sometimes cut them. I don't think I've had any missing rhinestones on this particular trim. So for me, that's a big plus, because that's almost always the case, that you're going to get a couple of rhinestones missing. I've been real lucky with this particular brand. So they've been obviously careful in how they inspect their rhinestone chain. At least it feels like they have been anyway. This is nice quality. It's heavy rhinestones. They all look so good. They sparkle so good. And I have been super happy with this product. So, and I am not being sponsored by them, you guys. So just so you know. Okay, we're going to pop this one right here. And again, this is 10 yards of 8mm, I think it's 8mm rhinestone chain. Amazing, you guys. I love this rhinestone chain. It might be 4mm. This might be 4. I'll have to check, but you'll see it when I put the link in there. You can read the details, the product details on Amazon. So yeah, just make sure you do that. But they're a good size. They're large, but they're not as large as the other ones that I get. These are 6, I think. The other ones that I use are 8, and they're quite large, but I do love those too. So sometimes I like the really big rhinestones. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our B7000 and do what we always do. We're going to go around the entire edge. We'll do one at a time. And then these will have to sit for about 15 minutes before I really start doing anything else on them. But that's not so long. I can get a couple of things done in those 15 minutes and get right back to it. And I'm putting it towards the top. The top part where the image is where I'm putting the adhesive. Trying to get enough on there, but not too much. I didn't get a lot down there. Okay, and then we're going to tip it over. And let me go ahead and pop this in there while I get this one on. And we're going to put it upside down so that the rhinestones are pointing downward. And if I just kind of push it up against there, it's gonna sit close to the tin. Now these tin lids are not absolutely straight, but that's okay. They still go on, the tin's fine, and they look fine. And that may be because when we cured the resin, it may have shrunk a little bit, the resin, and it pulled that tin right in with it. And that can happen because these tins are not super thick. And that fits perfectly. And I'm going to make sure they're all pointing down. Make sure none of them are pointing out to the side. Flip them over if they are. Because as you're doing this, they will start to flip up a little bit sometimes. You just got to go back and you got to check them and make sure they're all pointing downward. And try not to pull it too tight, you guys, because if you pull it too tight, that's when they will flip up. See, I just pulled it a little tight over there, and they started to flip up. At the corners is where you'll see that happen the most. That's the first place they will start to flip up. And now we've got them all pointing down. Do need to get these two at the very end together so that they match like the rest of it. And I'm just trying to kind of go like this to kind of see if I can get them to slide just ever so slightly without flipping up. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, because there isn't a lot of space between each of these rhinestones, and it's fine. It's good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's do this one. See, this one did the same thing, see? But I did test them on my boxes, and the lids go on fine. They don't have trouble going on the boxes and stuff. And I do have a little tweak right there on this lid. So this is why I say the things that I make are perfectly imperfect, and nothing is going to be perfect. Sometimes there will be a little flaw or something, but in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily ruin the project. Don't let that ruin your day, guys, if you have a little bit of a oops here or there. It's okay. We are human. We are not infallible, and we do have things go wrong sometimes. That's okay. Okay, let me pop my cap on there. Remember to always put your cap back on your B7000, because the ones with these little needles, if you don't, they end up with glue all over the outside of them, and they then the outside cap will stick to that needle, the spout or the point where you get your glue out of, and then you will end up pulling that needle out because the other portion is stuck to it, and then you don't have your beautiful needle that is in the center there to squeeze your glue out of. Sometimes you can get it to release from the other side, but it doesn't ever go right back in the way it did before. And trust me, I know this because I've done it more than once. And that spout is my favorite part of the B7000, other than its great glue. But I do like it for that reason. And I know you can get E6000 spouts that you can put in them. I don't like those separate spouts that you have to put on, and they get all gummy and they're soft and they're not real great. So I prefer these because it's a nice spout that's already attached, and I don't have to mess with anything else. Okay, so we're going to leave this on here for about 10 minutes, you guys, and then I'll come back and we'll finish these two up. I don't want to move them because they're sitting on the silicone mat, and so otherwise I would maybe start another project over here off to the side, but these are right in the middle of my space, so I'll be right back. Okay, I decided to go ahead. I can pick this up for a second. I'm going to see which direction that's going to. You can see where when I painted these, the white paint, I had it sitting on top of a one of these paint can lids. And so you can see where the white kind of got on there a little bit. But I'm going to put a piece on the inside of these. I just thought of that. And this one's got the same thing too. I just need to make sure these are facing the right direction. This one doesn't matter so much, but this one does. And I'm going to just add some B7000 to these and stick them on the inside, because I think it would be pretty to have a nice image right there on the lid. So we'll get this all the way up to the edge of the card. And I just pulled these out of the tins. I'll add some more. In fact, I planned on adding a few more cards to these anyway, so. But I just wanted to use basic floral images for these. I didn't want to put, you know, the same thing that's on the outside. So here we go, and these will stick in here very nicely. We'll just do it all the way to the edge and press in the middle. Press it all down and then sort of slide it while you still can to get it sort of centered. There we go. And now we'll get this one. And I do like to get, especially going on the inside of the tin, I like to get it all the way up to the edge. And I didn't get any ooze out on the other one, so hopefully we won't get any on this one either. And this is the other beautiful thing about this tube of adhesive. It doesn't like doesn't come out too fast or too thick, so that you end up with like all these thick areas around the edges. It doesn't do that, so it works out really, really nicely. And I love this image. This is so pretty. Looks like it's slightly crooked, but oh well. And when I say crooked, cut crooked right here in this corner. No big deal. This one did ooze a little bit more than the other one, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. That kind of does bother me there. But I think it still looks pretty. I think I'm going to just leave it alone. I may end up putting something around it to sort of hide that. You know, like I could put a corner here and a corner there if I wanted to. And I think it'll still go on well, because we're only going to do 2 corners on each one, you guys. We're going to do opposite corners. I decided not to put all 4 because I felt like it kind of was overpowering the front a bit. Whoopsies! And these are ready to turn over, so I'm going to adjust the rhinestones so that they are down and not kind of coming over the top of the lid here. We just want it to go flat. And they're still movable right now, so, but yet they're stuck pretty well. The adhesive is sticky enough that it's holding them in place just fine. So there's that one, and look at how beautiful it looks with, what is that? Somehow I got some B7000 on the front of that. That's okay. As long as it's not resin, I'm okay with that. Okay. I can get that off in a minute. Although it's actually in the corner right where the... if I put it in that corner. I think this one that's going there and there. And this one looks pretty well in place and straight. Always kind of look at the side view to see if you feel like it's on there straight. There. Okay. Don't those look beautiful, you guys? All right, so we've got that on there. Now we can go ahead. We're going to go with the copper on her because I kind of did a test, and I liked the copper better on her, and I really liked the antique brass on this one. I just felt like it goes better with her colors and everything. So that's the way we're going to do those, and we're going to do these corners and these corners. I could go this way and this way, but I liked it better in these corners because I don't want to cover up her sleeve and her arm right there. It looks really, really pretty. I'll put this up just so that it goes to the edge of the rhinestones, like that. Same with this one. I like that, and I like that. Okay, So all I'm going to do, you guys, to get these to stay down is I'm going to add some resin. And you guys have seen me do this before. I'm just dropping it in the holes there. Let's get this one all done. I don't want to mess with this too long. I just want it to seep through those holes and hold these down. And I'm going to put this one in the light, under the lamp. And then we'll do this one. And I'm just going in these, there's little tiny holes in this that just give me just enough space to put a tiny drop of resin in there. And that will hold these down wonderfully. And I'm going to pop this one out of there real quick and pop this one in. And let it get... You can see that's on there really, really well. And I will give them some more curing time under the lamp as well in a little bit. So, we've got that. What I would like to do is I would like to put some little rhinestones in a couple of places. I do also want to add I was going to add this under the doohickey there. I don't know that that's going to look good anymore. Oh well, but the butterfly will. I just need to decide where I want her to go. I think maybe right about there. So we're just going to lay that right there. And pull that one little corner. Whenever you go over a corner on something with these decals, they do not stick to corners well. That's the only beef that I really have with these, is the way that they don't hang on to corners. I don't understand why that is. It's the same surface. I'm just going to try and hold that down and pull back and see if I can, once I get it away from that corner, I'm okay. There. Okay. I just messed up my rhinestones just a tad, but those I can fix. Okay. Doesn't she look pretty there? Okay, and then what I want to do is I would like to use some rhinestones like in her hair. These are kind of almost a copper color right here, and so I like that. So I'm going to try and use these. And it's got different sized ones in here, so I can kind of pick and choose. Because I don't want them all to be big or little. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just take this. I'm going to put a little squeeze right there. And if I had a toothpick, okay, I've got a toothpick. I'm just going to get little dots of resin and put, you know, just a few dots kind of here and there, and I'll use my little let me see if I rub it on my pants if it'll stick a little better. Sometimes when you're working on top of the silicone mat, the silicone mat sticks to these better than the wax does on these rhinestone pickers sometimes. Okay, let's see. Go there. I love the little tiny rhinestones. Those are my favorites in something like this. And they look beautiful in her hair. A couple of bigger ones here. Even bigger than like the one I'm putting in here now. But I don't know if I want to use those at all. Definitely not in her hair. I think that looks so pretty. And we're going to just do another little dump there. Make it easier on ourselves. I don't want that one there. And these are just my little wax rhinestone pickers that I make myself, you guys. And they work like a charm, especially when you're dealing with these little tiny, teeny tiny rhinestones. They pick them up with ease. And they don't frustrate me. When you're picking up bigger stuff, they're not quite as, they're not always quite as sticky. I'm going to put one right there because there's like a little bubble right there. that I want to cover. There we go. And then let's put a little bit, let's see, put 3 little dots on this little guy. One, 2, 3. And these are just some little tiny rhinestones that my friend Robin sent me. And I absolutely love them. So,
You can see, aren't those gorgeous?
and then what I would love to do is I would love to give her some sort of a necklace. And so I'm going to try and put some kind of just coming from like right here to there. So let's give that a shot, you guys, and pray for me that it looks good. I think it should go right to about there. I've never claimed to be the very best artist in the world, and my placement of things is not always perfect, but I try. I'm going to try and do it just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one bigger one right down here at the point, right there, and the rest are all going to be small ones. Okay. And it will match sort of with her hair pieces, her hair stones. And right now I'm just grabbing them. Oh, they're wanting to stick to the table again, or to the mat. I just want to get enough on there, know that I have enough in, and then I'll straighten them out a little bit better. And oops. Get them all nicely in line. Like that. And I need a couple more of the little ones. Right, kind of going over to the other side. Maybe just one, I don't know. I might not need two. Okay, I feel like I'm not all the way to the middle there with this. This is where I can kind of see if I've got that in the right place. And then I want to kind of try and round out this side a little bit. So so that it's not just a little straight line. And I think I need one more. Let's see. I'll take you and put you right there, because I feel like I need one more right there. Okay guys, I think I did good. I think I did. And then maybe just a little bit on her dress here, because I do want them kind of, I want them to be a focal thing. I want you to be able to see rhinestones, because you know I love my rhinestones, guys. So I just want to get some here and there. One there. One there. And I think I'll put a couple there. And on that flower. And let's see, do I need any more anywhere else? Probably need to get a couple sort of over here, just kind of floating. No, Holly, no, Holly. Come on, out, baby. No, no, you can't come in here. Go on. Go on out. Go, go. You're taking up my time. Come on. Come on. Go on out. I'll be out in a minute. Go on. Go, baby. I literally have to push her out. She's so cute. She stands there and looks at me. She knows she's big. She knows I can't move her easily. So she just stands there and looks at me like, Oh, and here she comes back again. Darn it. Holly, go on. No, honey, you can't come in here right now. Go. There's too much stuff for you to get into right now. Go. I'll be out in a minute. Now I have to close the door all the way. Lay down right there. I'll be right there. I'm always true when I tell her I'll be right back. I know I won't be more than, 15 minutes or so. So you guys, I have about 15 minutes to get this done. Oh shoot, I haven't even done the other one yet. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's gonna work out this time. But I also don't want to spend too much more time keeping you guys away from your afternoons. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's see. I feel like that looks good. Okay, you guys, I think that's all we're going to add to her as far as rhinestones go. Let's pull our other lady out and pop her in the lamp there. And then this one, I'm just trying to put these away before I end up losing some of them. And I really like these rhinestones, so I don't want to. Especially the color on these, because they're more of a neutral color. And I can use them on more stuff. Okay, and then her, it's kind of got to stay soft too because she's only got the two colors. So I think we're going to go with the gold ones on her. There's a couple of other colors stuck in here with them, but we just won't pick those up. And I'm probably not going to use as many on her as I did on the other one. I want to use some in her hat for sure. Hopefully I'll remember where I put these. Okay, let's put those in. And we are only using the tiny ones. And those look very, very pretty. That gold is gorgeous. Maybe one, whoops, one bigger one. Come on, pick up. One bigger one right there in the middle. And the rest will be tiny. That looks really, really pretty on her hat.
Isn't that gorgeous?
So now I think I might use some, let's see, going along her dress right here. I think that would be a good spot. To just add some tiny rhinestones. Kind of feel like she could use a necklace too, but we'll decide after this if she really needs it or if it would be too much. I mean, I could go with a different color for a necklace. That would be a possibility. Okay, tiny. I don't have a lot of tiny ones left on the table here, so. That looks so pretty. I gotta put a couple over here on the other side because you can sort of see. I gotta dump some more out because I'm out of the tinies. One there, and one there. And what do you think? Do we need one? Maybe on her finger? If not, I'll wipe it clean. In fact, I got too much on there, really. And I don't want that to be an issue. Right there. I think that looks pretty. And I could put a little bracelet on her. It would be pretty to have some kind of in her hair in different spots, but I just don't know. I never know if I'm, because sometimes it looks good and then sometimes people go too far with that. And it really needs to be something really, really tiny. And so I don't know if these are quite tiny enough. And here's what I'm thinking here. I'm going to put my little bit of resin down here. And I have some silver ones in here too. And I'm thinking I might mix a bracelet and a necklace, maybe, between silver and gold. You'll see what I mean. So what I'm going to do is use a little bit of silver and a little bit of gold and mix them like that. Right? And I need one more gold, not you, right at this end, like that. And maybe I should put silver ones in between those. What do you think? And I could add a couple in there. I think that's a good idea. That breaks up that gold a little bit. Even though it's gorgeous with just the gold, I think I think it will break it up just enough to make it not like too much gold, too much bright. Because that gold is very bright. We're going to give it a shot, you guys. That's just the way I feel. I like silver and gold mixed together. So I'm partial to that anyway. So for me, I know it will work. Hopefully it works for you guys too. There's one there. And I can move them around in a minute. Right now I'm just trying to kind of put them in between here. Get them kind of where I want them to be. You guys, I honestly didn't intend for this to go this long, but I hope you guys end up liking the finished product, and we'll continue watching until it's done. Sometimes you just have to, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of go up and down, and up, and down, and up, like that. I think that looks good. And I need one more little silver one for right here. Like that. Okay. And then I would like to add a couple of silver ones to the hat in a couple of spots. Just a couple. Like that. I need to dump a few more of these out. There. Like that. And you. Let's see, we'll join you with that one. And you right down here with that one. And I feel like I need a little more resin right here because there is not enough there to hold those both in, nor there. And maybe just put another dot right there. And add a beautiful little silver one. Oops. Right there. And I think that really kind of lets everything kind of melt together. And I do feel like we have to go with the necklace because she needs a necklace. She just desperately needs a necklace. And I'm going to try and figure out how I want this necklace to hang. let it maybe show right through there. And back behind her hair, you wouldn't see it anyway, so I need to get that off of there. I don't know how I ended up getting that on there so thick. It's a teeny little toothpick. All right, let's see how this goes. We're going to put that in the center. And I think I'm just going to put silver ones along the edges, if I can find enough silver tinies. Pop a silver one right there, back behind her hair. And this one we're not going every other. We're just silver chain, gold pendant. That's kind of what I'm going for with this one. Can't believe I still didn't get enough of the tiny silver ones. I keep dumping them out and there's just not enough. This one. And there's one. I only need one or two more. Okay, I'm not loving this necklace at all. And it's all because of her hair over here. I just don't like having to try and get around that because it doesn't look right. But that's really how it would have to go. And I don't feel like the gold pendant is in the right spot because it should come right about there because she's sort of twisted. Okay, that looks better. Okay, now I like it. All right, we're good. We're going to pop her under the light and let everything set in her. And this is our other beautiful lady here. Isn't she gorgeous?
I think she is absolutely beautiful.
And I'll get some better video to put at the end of this video for you guys to see once I do my pictures and stuff, so that you guys can catch a little bit better view of it. And I need to even though there's some other colors in there, I need to get these off my mat. And the only way to pick these up is like this. You can't slide them across the mat because they won't move. I hate popping other colors in there, but I don't have a choice. I need to get them picked up, and I'll have to go through these. I got some, although these are perfect holders for these rhinestones, I got some other containers to put little stuff in that Robin sent me, and they're awesome. So I can't wait to start putting some of this little stuff into those containers. She gave me 2 sets of them. And there's a bunch of little tiny containers in one box. Super cool. And I can't wait to use them. Again, right now I'm trying to put aside all of my stuff to start helping me get organized. And once I get, you know, some of it built up, I will have spaces to put all of these things that I need to find spots for because I have such a small crafting space, so that it's not, you know, all crowded in. I'm tired of working in a crowded environment. It's not conducive to getting stuff done. Okay, so she needs her butterfly, and I need to decide where I want her butterfly to go, and I think maybe right there should be good, right? I think that'll work. So let's give it that on there. And this one should go a little easier because I'm not going to let it go over the edge. She's going to go right there. And we are just going to pull that off. There we go. And I love that pop of pink. Just that little pop of pink in each one. That looks really, really pretty. Yeah. We're not going to be able to use that in either one of those, so that's okay. I'm going to cure the resin that's left in that little tub. Okay, so that's that. Originally, this butterfly was going to go with her. because it does look pretty with her. All the colors are perfect. But I think I want to kind of try and keep it, I don't know, that looks pretty right there next to the other one. I think I am going to add that butterfly to her. This one, I think I was going to add this flower somewhere, but that is not going to happen. I'm not going to use that. And I got a little drip of resin on that little envelope. I don't think it's ruined though. I'm just going to cure it and move on. There's a little bit of resin right there, see? That's okay. So, I don't know which top's going to go with which yet, but I will figure that out later. I do have these great butterflies too, which would really go nice with her because of the colors. But for me, they feel just a little bit too big to go on this box. It just feels too big and bulky. So I made those butterflies a little too big. And I have a bunch of these. So I'm going to be putting some of these probably into some of my orders. Just so that maybe you guys can get them and use them for something. Yeah, so that's okay.
See, it's got that little dot of resin, but
I'm going to go ahead and put it in there anyway because it's a cool little note. You go there. We could add some lace, but I'm not going to. I just decided this is going to be it, you guys, for these. I think they're both very, very pretty. Oops, I didn't put the butterfly on this one. I do want to get that on there. Where is my, here it is, my B7000. I'm going to use this and some hot glue to put this onto go hot. Oh, goodness. Definitely don't want to ruin those. Ah, Carol. And that's going to go right there. With a glue string right there. Oh, I hate glue strings, you guys. I really, really do. I wish they would come up with a new invention that doesn't make glue strings. Because it, like, just sticks in one spot and you can't get it to come off. You can't get it in your fingers to get it to come off. You have to some way find a way to get up underneath it and get it out. Okay, I got it. So that's it for that. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. We did not use any of these yet, but I have, you know, of course, a couple of other ones that I'm going to be doing, like these pink ones that we are not going to get to today, and some other ones. So I'll be using these for sure in the very, very, very near future. So I'm going to, in fact, leave those right here. In fact, I'll put them inside one of these so that they'll be safe and not lost. Okay, so thanks a lot, you guys, for watching. Please be safe, be well. Be kind. Love your family. And I hope you guys will be very, very blessed in your lives. I know I am blessed. No matter what goes wrong in life, I'm still blessed. And I've got so many people in my corner, including all of you guys who've been praying for me. And I appreciate all your prayers. And I appreciate those of you that have been supporting my Etsy shop. I've got some ladies out there that are supporting my shop on a very regular basis, and you guys, I can't thank you enough. I think I'm getting closer to a point where I'm going to be able to get some real insurance, and I'm going to be able to get everything taken care of hopefully very soon. So I want to thank you guys. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be able to do it. Absolutely, 100% without a doubt. So I will let you guys know when that process all gets started. It still may take a little bit of time, maybe a few weeks, but it will happen shortly. So, and that's largely because of you guys. So thanks a lot. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. And I hope God truly blesses all of you with the very best. Wonderful families, wonderful memories, and, you know, stay true to yourself. Take care of yourself, and I love you all. God bless you, and stay tuned for pictures on the back end, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.